More than 2 decades after Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone first cast its spell, the actors have changed in ways few expected. From childhood faces to adult journeys, this video revisits the cast then and now, revealing transformations that truly surprise. Daniel Radcliffe, born in 1989, will always be the boy who lived, but his real-life journey was far from a fairy tale. Cast at age 12, he faced immense global pressure, later admitting he turned to alcohol to cope with the intensity of fame before becoming sober. In 2026, at 36 years old, Daniel has completely rewritten his legacy. He deliberately chose bizarre indie roles, from a farting corpse in Swiss Army Man to the parody singer Weird Al, just to kill his wizard image. His dedication to the craft culminated in a career-defining moment when he won his first Tony Award in 2024 for Merrily We Roll Along. Now a dedicated father, he avoids social media entirely, proving that the shy boy under the stairs has grown into one of the most fearless and grounded actors of his generation. Emma Watson, born in 1990, embodied the brilliance of Hermione Granger, famously correcting Ron's pronunciation with "It is Leviosa, not Leviosa." At 11 years old, she was the brains of the trio, but off-screen she struggled with the constraints of the franchise, famously considering quitting around the 5th film to focus on her education. Today in 2026, at 35 years old, Emma remains an enigma. She stepped away from acting for long periods, prioritizing her activism as a UN Women Goodwill Ambassador and launching a gin brand with her brother. While fans still obsess over her past chemistry with co-star Tom Felton, Emma keeps her romantic life fiercely private. She is not just a movie star, she is a modern intellectual icon who proved that being smart is actually the coolest superpower a girl can have. Verne Troyer, born in 1969, provided the physical performance for Griphook the Goblin at Gringotts Bank, while Warwick Davis provided the voice. At 32 years old in 2001, he stood at just 2 feet 8 inches tall, making him one of the shortest men in the world. He was an icon of pop culture, famously playing Mini-Me in the Austin Powers franchise. Despite his immense fame and charismatic on-screen presence, Verne fought a private and painful battle with alcohol addiction for years. Tragically, he passed away on April 21st, 2018, at the age of 49 due to alcohol poisoning. His death left a void in Hollywood, reminding us that even the smallest stars can cast the biggest shadows, but often carry the heaviest burdens behind the smiles. Rupert Grint, born in 1988, stole the show as the loyal and spider-fearing Ron Weasley. At 13 years old, he was the comedic heart of the group, but he later confessed to an identity crisis, saying he did not know where Ron ended and Rupert began. Now in 2026, at 37 years old, the redhead legend has taken the most surprising turn. Using his early wealth to fulfill childhood dreams like buying an actual ice cream truck and a hovercraft, he eventually reinvented himself as a psychological thriller star in projects like Servant, often mistaken by fans for singer Ed Sheeran. Rupert takes it all with humor. As the first of the trio to become a father, he now lives a quiet, eccentric life in the countryside, successfully escaping the shadow of Hogwarts to build a dark, compelling acting career. Tom Felton, born in 1987, played the sneering bully Draco Malfoy. At 14 years old, he bleached his hair platinum blonde to torture Harry Potter. Ironically, while he played the villain, he has become the franchise's biggest cheerleader in real life. By 2026, at 38 years old, Tom is beloved for being the glue that holds the cast together often organizing reunions and posting nostalgic throwbacks. He released a best-selling memoir called Beyond the Wand, which detailed his struggles with substance abuse and his deep soulmate-like connection with co-star Emma Watson. Far from the pure-blood supremacist he played, Tom is a humble musician and a fan favorite who happily embraces his Slytherin legacy, proving that sometimes the bad guys have the biggest hearts. Alan Rickman, born in 1946, brought a terrifying yet tragic gravitas to the role of Professor Severus Snape. At 55 years old in 2001, he was the only actor on set who knew the true ending of his character long before the final book was written, because J.K. Rowling trusted him with the secret to help his performance. His deep velvet voice and slow delivery became iconic. Behind the scenes, he was incredibly kind, often buying gifts for the child actors and offering career advice despite his scary costume. The world was shattered when he passed away from pancreatic cancer on January 14, 2016, at the age of 69, just days before his 70th birthday. He left behind a legacy defined by one single word that broke hearts around the globe always. Harry Melling, born in 1989, played the spoiled and gluttonous cousin, Dudley Dursley. At 12 years old, he was the Muggle bully audiences loved to hate. However, his transformation is arguably the most shocking of the entire cast. By the time the final films were shooting, he had lost so much weight that he nearly lost the role and had to wear a fat suit just to look like Dudley again. In 2026, at 36 years old, Harry has successfully shed the bratty image to become a highly respected character actor. He stunned critics with his chilling performances in The Queen's Gambit and The Pale Blue Eye, alongside Christian Bale. He deliberately avoids blockbuster franchises to focus on intense artistic roles, proving that the Dursley boy had serious talent hiding underneath those oversized sweaters all along. Matthew Lewis, born in 1989, captured hearts as the forgetful and clumsy Neville Longbottom. At 12 years old, he was contractually obligated to wear false teeth and plastic pads behind his ears to maintain a goofy appearance. But puberty hit him like a freight train, leading to the internet term longbottoming, which refers to an insane physical glow-up. By 2026, at 36 years old, Matthew is a certified hunk and a successful television actor. His underwear modeling shoots shocked the world and even embarrassed author J.K. Rowling on Twitter. He met his wife, Angela Jones, at a Wizarding World event in Orlando, making his life a true magical romance. From the boy who lost his toad to a dashing leading man, Matthew represents the ultimate underdog victory. Rik Mayall, born in 1958, holds the title for the most famous Harry Potter role that nobody ever saw. Cast as Peeves the Poltergeist, at age 43, he was a legendary British comedian known for his anarchic energy. He actually filmed all his scenes, but director Chris Columbus cut him entirely from the final movie because his antics made the child actors laugh too much to get a usable take. Rik famously joked that he was the highest paid actor for doing absolutely nothing, and he did not even tell his children he had been cut until they saw the movie. He died suddenly from a heart attack after a jog on June 9th, 2014, at the age of 56. To this day, fans still petition for the release of the chaotic Peeves tapes that are locked away in the Warner Bros. Vault. Robbie Coltrane, born in 1950, was the very first adult actor cast in the franchise, personally chosen by J.K. Rowling to play the half-giant Rubeus Hagrid. At 51 years old, he brought a warmth and vulnerability to the screen that grounded the fantasy world. Behind the scenes, he was a protective father figure to the young cast, famously keeping their spirits up during long, rainy shoots. He suffered from severe osteoarthritis in later years, which kept him wheelchair-bound and in constant pain. Robbie passed away from multiple organ failure on October 14, 2022, at the age of 72. His final appearance in the reunion special left fans weeping when he said, "I will not be here, sadly, but Hagrid will ensuring his legacy lives forever in the wizarding world." Richard Griffiths, born in 1947, played the purple-faced, rage-filled Uncle Vernon Dursley. At 54 years old, he was brilliant at making audiences despise him, but in reality, he was a gentle intellectual and a celebrated stage actor. He and Daniel Radcliffe shared a profound bond, appearing together nude on stage in the controversial play Equus. Daniel viewed Richard as his most important mentor, who taught him how to transition from a child star to a serious actor. Tragically, Richard passed away following complications from heart surgery on March 28, 2013, at the age of 65. He was the first of the main adult cast to leave us. While Uncle Vernon tried to stomp the magic out of Harry, Richard Griffiths was the one who helped put the magic into Daniel Radcliffe. Ian Hart, born in 1964, had the difficult task of playing the stuttering Professor Quirrell. At 37 years old, he was the nervous defense against the dark arts teacher, but technically, he played two roles as he also provided the voice and motion capture face for Lord Voldemort on the back of his head. It takes incredible skill to switch from a terrified victim to the most evil Dark Lord in seconds. In 2026, at 61 years old, Ian is a prolific character actor known for playing John Lennon multiple times and starring as Father Biokai in the hit series The Last Kingdom. He remains the only actor in the franchise to physically carry the Dark Lord on his own body, marking a terrifying introduction to the villain. Maggie Smith, born in 1934, was the formidable Professor Minerva McGonagall. At 66 years old, she was already a double Oscar winner in acting royalty. Her dedication was legendary, as she famously battled breast cancer during the filming of the later movies, refusing to let the chemotherapy stop her from wearing the heavy witch robes. She later found a whole new generation of fans as the Dowager Countess in Downton Abbey. The world mourned deeply when she passed away from natural causes on September 27, 2024, at the age of 89. As one of the most recent and significant losses of the cast, her death marks the end of an era. She was the stern yet loving grandmother of cinema, and the last true pillar of Hogwarts has fallen. Warwick Davis, born in 1970, is the unsung hero of the wizarding world. At 31 years old in 2001, he was the only cast member to pull double duty, playing the Tiny Charms Master Professor Flitwick, and also providing the voice for Griphook the Goblin. Standing at 3 feet 6 inches due to a rare genetic condition, Warwick turned his physical stature into a legendary career, starting as an Ewok in Star Wars. In 2026, at 55 years old, he remains a beloved figure hosting quiz shows and conventions. However, he recently faced personal heartbreak with the passing of his wife and soulmate Samantha in 2024. Despite the sorrow, he continues to bring joy to fans, proving that size matters not when you have such a massive heart and talent. Bonnie Wright, born in 1991, appeared for only a few seconds as the shy Ginny Weasley wishing Harry good luck at Platform 934. At just 10 years old, she had no idea she would grow up to marry the chosen one. By 2026, at 34 years old, Bonnie has moved behind the camera, becoming a filmmaker and a passionate environmental activist. She works closely with Greenpeace to fight plastic pollution and wrote a book on sustainable living called Go Gently. Now a mother living a grounded life in California, she rarely acts, preferring to use her platform to save the planet rather than save the wizarding world. She represents the calm and nurturing spirit of the Weasley family in real life, proving to be a true Gryffindor at heart. John Hurt, born in 1940, was the legendary Mr. Ollivander, the wandmaker, who uttered the iconic line, "The wand chooses the wizard, Mr. Potter." At 61 years old in 2001, he brought a mystical and slightly unsettling quality to Diagon Alley. With a career spanning 6 decades, including unforgettable roles in Alien and The Elephant Man, he was considered one of Britain's finest actors. Sadly, he shares a tragic connection with his co-star Alan Rickman, as both fell victim to pancreatic cancer. John passed away on January 25, 2017, at the age of 77, just 3 days after his birthday. He was the guardian of magic lore, and his scene remains the pivotal moment where Harry truly becomes a wizard, ensuring his voice echoes forever in cinema history. James Phelps, born in 1986, played Fred Weasley, the slightly more instigating half of the Weasley twins. At 15 years old, he skipped school to audition and won the role simply because he and his brother looked the part. James is actually the younger twin by 13 minutes, and in the movies his character Fred suffers the most tragic fate during the Battle of Hogwarts, leaving George alone. Fortunately, in 2026, at 39 years old, the real-life James is inseparable from his brother Oliver. They co-host a popular travel show called Fantastic Friends, where they explore the globe with former castmates, like heavy metal hiking with Tom Felton. Athletic and outgoing, he is an avid golfer and cyclist, keeping the mischievous spirit of Weasley's Wizard Wheezes alive through adventure rather than pranks. Oliver Phelps, born in 1986, played George Weasley, the slightly more sensitive half of the prankster duo. At 15 years old, he and his brother James skipped school exams to audition and changed their lives forever. While James played Fred, who died, Oliver played George, who famously lost an ear in the Deathly Hallows. In real life, Oliver is actually the older twin by 13 minutes and is often the more organized one behind the scenes. In 2026, at 39 years old, he continues to work closely with his brother, co-hosting their travel series, Fantastic Friends. He remains deeply connected to the Potter fandom, engaging with fans worldwide and proving that, unlike his character who lost his other half, he and James remain an inseparable team. Richard Harris, born in 1930, was the original Albus Dumbledore. At 71 years old, he played the headmaster with a twinkle in his eye and a fragile, grandfatherly warmth. Famously, he initially refused the role 3 times, but only accepted it because his 11-year-old granddaughter threatened to never speak to him again if he did not play Dumbledore. In his youth, he was a notorious hellraiser, known for wild drinking and bar fights, which made his turn as the wise wizard even more ironic. Tragically, he was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma and passed away on October 25, 2002, at the age of 72, just weeks before the second film premiered. While Michael Gambon took over, Richard Harris remains the gentle soul who welcomed us all to Hogwarts. Fiona Shaw, born in 1958, was the neck-stretching gossip Aunt Petunia Dursley. At 43 years old, she perfectly embodied the repressed jealousy of a muggle living next door to magic. While Petunia was a suburban nightmare, Fiona is actually one of the most acclaimed classical actresses of her generation, known for her high intellect and power. In 2026, at 67 years old, she has enjoyed a massive career renaissance, winning a BAFTA for her role as the icy spy master Carolyn Martins in Killing Eve and starring in the Star Wars series Andor. In her personal life, she is happily married to memoirist Sonali Dhiranyagala. She successfully shed the drab apron of Privet Drive to become a sophisticated icon of modern television and queer culture. Julie Walters, born in 1950, was the beating heart of the franchise as the matriarch Molly Weasley. At 51 years old, she gave Harry the mother figure he desperately needed, famously knitting him a sweater every Christmas. She is a British national treasure known for her incredible versatility from comedy to drama. However, she faced her own terrifying battle off-screen when she was diagnosed with stage 3 bowel cancer in 2018. She underwent surgery and chemotherapy, keeping her condition secret until she was in remission. In 2026, at 75 years old, she has largely retired from heavy acting schedules to prioritize her health and peace. Having defeated cancer, she proved she is just as tough in real life as she was when dueling Bellatrix Lestrange. David Bradley, born in 1942, played the wheezing and miserable caretaker Argus Filch. At 59 years old, he terrified students while hugging his cat, Mrs. Norris. He is a character actor legend. Most fans know him not just as Filch, but as the man who orchestrated the Red Wedding as Walder Frey in Game of Thrones. In 2026, at 83 years old, David is still active and surprisingly sweet in real life, often attending fan conventions to meet the people he once scared. He recently voiced Geppetto in Guillermo del Toro's Pinocchio. He holds the unique title of being the man who killed a Stark and tormented Harry Potter, yet everyone still loves him for his incredible talent and gentle, real-world demeanor. John Cleese, born in 1939, floated into Hogwarts as the resident Gryffindor ghost, nearly headless Nick. At 62 years old, he was already comedy royalty as a founding member of Monty Python and the star of Fawlty Towers. He only appeared in the first 2 films, but his performance was perfectly pompous. In 2026, at 86 years old, John remains a vocal and controversial figure, never shying away from sharing his unfiltered opinions on social media and cancel culture. He has spent his later years writing books on creativity and touring with one-man shows. While he is a giant of British comedy, he will always be remembered by a certain generation as the ghost who just needed one more chop to be fully beheaded. Sean Biggerstaff, born in 1983, played the fanatical Quidditch captain Oliver Wood. At 18 years old, he was technically an adult, playing a student, making him the oldest of the Hogwarts pupils on set. He got the role because Alan Rickman personally recommended him after seeing his talent in the play The Winter Guest. By 2026, at 42 years old, Sean has maintained a low-profile acting career in Scotland. He gained a cult following online, where fans obsess over his brief but intense screen time. He is also an accomplished musician. While he never reached the global superstardom of the trio, he remains the ultimate crush for anyone who loves a man in a thick-knitted Quidditch sweater. Zoe Wanamaker, born in 1949, played the spiky-haired flying instructor Madame Hooch with iconic yellow hawk eyes. At 52 years old, she taught Harry how to fly his broomstick. However, she famously slammed the producers for underpaying the actors and refused to return for sequels, describing the experience as cyber slavery due to the intense CGI work. In 2026, at 76 years old, she is a revered stage actress and stars in the fantasy series Shadow and Bone. Although her time at Hogwarts was short, she taught us that sometimes you have to fly away when you are not being treated right. This concludes our journey through the original cast of 2001, proving that after 25 years, the magic truly lives on in all of them. And that brings us to the end of this journey. From their first steps into the wizarding world to the lives they lead today, the Harry Potter cast has grown alongside an entire generation. As we celebrate their transformations, we also remember those who are no longer with us. If this video brought back memories, please like, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more timeless movie stories.